Happy Tax Day. I finished my taxes this morning. I do my taxes every year so I can get really irate at the U.S. government for taking more and more of the money that I make. Today, 50% of Americans don't even pay income tax. Is that good for America?
No!
We have a broken system. We have people in Washington, D.C. that are spending us into bankruptcy as fast and furiously as they can, and we need to send a new generation of leaders to Washington, D.C. Do you agree?
Yeah!
I want to take a little poll here before we get started. People are interested in polls. How many of you think that the government wants to protect our Second Amendment rights?
No!
How many of you think they want to take away our Second Amendment rights?
Yeah!
I'm a hunter. I'm a gun owner. The last thing that we must defend is our right to own a gun. Those rights shall not be infringed. We've got to protect those rights. How many of you believe that the government wants to take away our right for freedom of speech and freedom of religion? They are taking away our freedoms at every single turn. Today we're living in a time when government cannot stop spending money. They cannot stop spending us into bankruptcy. The entitlements, Medicare, Social Security, somebody has to pay the bill. That is hardworking Americans. Barack Obama believes that I am an enemy. I'm a capitalist. I'm a small businessman. I create jobs. He believes that I am an enemy to America. Do you agree?
No!
We have to send a new generation of leaders to Washington, D.C. The people back there today are not going to fix the problem. I want to take a little poll again. How many of you think Senator Bennett should be reelected? No! How many would like to see somebody new fill that slot?
Yeah!
Okay. So, who am I? I'm a kid from a trailer park. I grew up right out there in West Jordan. My dad was a diesel mechanic. He was my stepfather. He went to work every day with a black lunch pail. He worked so his family could be provided for. He worked a long day, and he brought home the bacon for our family. I was the first kid to go to college in my family. I was fortunate to go out in 1987 and 88 to work for Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan turned this country around. Do you agree?
Woo!
He came to America at a time when we had 18% interest rates, double-digit inflation, gas lines as far as the eye could see. America felt that its best days were behind us. We were headed towards bankruptcy. Japan was going to be the greatest nation in the world. That was not acceptable to Americans. There was a time when he called on Americans, not political leaders. He called on Americans to make real sacrifices to turn this country around. Are you ready to make sacrifices for America?
Yeah!
Here's what you're going to have to do. We have to reform entitlements. We cannot continue to bankrupt this country. We've got to take it from the federal government and turn it back to the states. We've got to take education away from the federal government and turn it back to the states. We've got to take our lands back from the federal government and turn it back to the states. Do you agree?
Yeah!
Washington does not get it, but Nebraska got it. Senator Ben Nelson took a $100 million bribe for his health care vote so we could have more government. What did the voters in Nebraska say? They said, give it back. That's not American. That's not Nebraska. Utah has to have the same attitude and send leaders to Washington, D.C. who are going to take on the special interest, take on the lobbyists, take on the leaders in Washington, D.C., throw them out, and bring a new era of fiscal responsibility, of limited government, so the private sector can be free. Today, we are losing our rights in business. I work in the energy arena. I work in the healthcare arena. And every time we turn around, the government is taking more and more of our rights, our ability to succeed. They don't allow us to access our own lands for coal, for oil, for gas. Instead, they're forcing us to buy oil from Saudi Arabia, from Mexico, and from our good friend Hugo Chavez in Venezuela. That is not American. We need the jobs here. We need the economic development here. Send a businessman to Washington, D.C. We have plenty of other types of people that don't understand how the economy works. We need somebody that gets it, that creates jobs, that can bring prosperity back to this nation. How we do that is by fighting against the federal government. The federal government is not our friend. They are our enemy. Ronald Reagan said it best. He said, government is not the answer to our problems. Government is the problem. I hope you agree. I hope you'll send Tim Bridgewater to the United States Senate so we can take back America, take back our rights, and defend our liberties. Thanks so much.